Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. I am Abdurrahman Izzat and my colleagues Ranjula Abeyvardhana and Dion Ferdinand will be presenting you the business plan for Millennium IT and its new venture. I would like to begin by stating the vision, mission, current and potential activities of the firm. The vision of Millennium IT is to become the capital market software provider around the globe. The mission of the firm is to hire world-class talents to achieve success. We are currently the leading software provider for the banking and capital market sectors in Sri Lanka. And potentially, through this new venture, we hope to be the leading software provider for banks in Mumbai. The objectives will be developed using the SMART approach. They need to be specific. Increase profits and gain a larger market share, measurable, increasing the clientele and profits which are quantitatively measurable, achievable. Productivity is an achievable factor for the growth of the firm. Then we have realistic. The defined targets and goals need to be achieved within the given period of time. Lastly, we have time bound. The period to achieve the set goal is 5 years. The organizational structure is designed in a way that the employees can communicate effectively. The 4 primary structures are functional, divisional, holding and matrix structures respectively. The LSEG, the London Stock Exchange Group, implements the functional structure. The board of chairmen looks after the entire organization. The board consists of the chief executive officer, chief risk officer and the chief compliance officer. The new venture that is to be opened will be looked after by the business development department. Millennium IT too has a similar structure to LSEG. The CEO of Millennium IT will be directly in charge of the new venture, while LSEG will observe its operations and processes. The important decisions will have a more centralized approach, while the other decision makings will include the employees in the process. In other words, it is a decentralized decision making a system that is offered by the firm.
Environmental analysis comprises of 2 segments or sectors, namely the external environment and the industrial environment. To analyze the external environment, the PES formula will be utilized. Politically, India is the largest provider of IT graduates to the global market. Therefore, their education is of an extremely high standard. Legally, however, the Indian government may be far more firm with foreign companies that are attempting to dominate their local market, thereby hindering the growth at which Millennium IT is hoping to achieve. Economically, India has a development rate that is looking to actually surpass world powers like America and China. Now, the housing prices within Mumbai limits are extremely high. Therefore, close attention to detail will have to be paid prior to making purchases. Socially, there is high regard for people who graduate technology within the technology field. And actually, this industry is one of the key driving forces that has made India the world power it is today. Now, although technology in India is extremely advanced, there are actually only a few or handful of companies that can actually match the level that Millennium IT is offering to their potential clients.
The segment of the environmental analysis is the industry analysis. This analysis is carried out to identify the firm's or the industry's attractiveness. So the first factor under industry analysis is the threat of new entrants. For example, capital requirements. Capital requirements to reach the level, the standard that Millennium IT have reached is pretty high. But to enter the industry, the capital requirements are relatively low. Therefore, the threat of new entrants is very high. The factor is the bargaining power of suppliers. As is the case with most companies, increased global reputation will bring down the bargaining power of suppliers. In Millennium IT's case, its high global reputation. Because of its high global reputation, its bargaining power of suppliers is relatively low. Third factor is the bargaining power of customers. Usually companies rely on their customers for success. Since there is a high demand for the most efficient software, customers are willing to pay premium prices. Therefore, the impact is moderate. Factor is threat of substitutes. Within the region of Mumbai alone, there are over 100 competitors within the industry. And although not everyone can offer the same standard, a company like say DataVision that is established may still be suitable enough for certain clients. Therefore, substitutes are relatively high. The fifth factor is competitive rivalry within the industry. As mentioned, there are more than 100 competitors within the industry. Companies like DataVision, QTech, and Spider Labs are well established, and therefore to surpass them in market share will be quite difficult. Hence, the rivalry is high. In order to identify the core competencies of the firm, the resources that it has currently available need to be analyzed. For this reason, VRIO analysis is carried out. The Millennium Exchange is its flagship resource, being an advanced trading technology platform, and it is valuable because it has extremely low latencies. It's rare because it can be configured to trade virtually any type of product in any type of market, and it is immutable because it received a patent for its business innovation dynamically technology in the year 2006. It was a US patent, and this makes it impossible to duplicate. As for how the organization exploits it, we can see that Millennium Exchange has been put to good use as it powers capital markets all around the world. The next key resource is the Millennium Surveillance. It is valuable because it offers unparalleled levels of flexibility and adaptability. Rare because it is real time and can operate offline as well. Immutable because the innovation with mining data and detecting anomalies is incredible. And as for how the organization exploits it, it is the eye of the market for many exchange businesses around the world. Look at the core competencies. Based off the VRIO analysis, a few core competencies have been identified. Firstly, it is a leader in software development, with software such as Millennium Exchange and Millennium Surveillance, which fulfill all criteria of the VRIO analysis. Secondly, it has a strong research team, which has helped the firm improve existing software and is the main reason why the company is faring so well today. Last, strong networks. The company is able to obtain quality resources for better prices as opposed to the local competition in Mumbai.
The industrial life cycle is used to develop the best strategy in relation to the stage at which it is located in. The industrial life cycle comprises of 4 stages. The first being introduction, which is where Millennium IT was first in 1996 when they first entered the industry. The growth stage is where the company currently exists in, and they exist in a dominant fashion. The maturity is when a company reaches a stage or a monopoly-like stage where competitors find it hard to actually reach. But within this industry, given the speedy nature, it is highly unlikely for a company to attain this level. Companies either develop new software or risk falling into the decline stage of the life cycle. The ultimate goal is to prolong the growth stage with new developments and ventures such as what is currently being undertaken in Mumbai.
There are a number of key success factors that are determined by an organization. The key success factor are the unique elements that creates the separation between the existing rivals. Some of the factors are strategic focus. Millennium IT has been in the market since 1996 and their competitor DataVision from 1992. As LSEG has been operating for nearly 300 years, they are able to make better decisions than others because of the expertise they have and what they get from LSEG. Success factor is people. Most of the best employees are taken by the rival company, which is DataVision. However, Millennium IT has the advantage of capitalizing on the well-established name London Stock Exchange Group. Another key success factor for the organization is marketing. The firm is not actively involved in the marketing procedures, but the reputation of the organization and the value proposition being quality is what keeps them going. The SWOT analysis determines the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities and threats. Talking on the strengths, Millennium IT is presently the leading company in the capital market and the banking sector in Sri Lanka. Also, technological advancements make them more productive. Then we have the weaknesses. The new venture would have a relatively low market share as it's entering a new market which is in India. Moving on to the opportunities, the IT sector is booming and there is more potentiality for the growth of the firm. Next on we have the threats. There are extreme rivals like QTech and DataVision. The lack of innovation can put Millennium IT out of the market, and also the lack of support from the government can prevent the firm from achieving its set goals.
Next, we will look at the application of the growth share matrix to the firm strategy. The key aspects of the matrix are the relative market share and the rate of market growth in the industry. There are 4 primary quadrants for the matrix. The first one being the star, where there is high growth and high market share. The second is the cash cow, which has low growth and high market share. Third being the question mark, where it has high growth and low market share. Last is the dog, low growth and low market share. Millennium IT will enter the Mumbai market at the question mark stage with low market share but high growth. The firm within a period of 2 years will most likely be in the star stage of the matrix, where there is a high growth and a high market share. Ideally, Millennium IT is looking to reach the cash cow stage, characterized by its low growth and high market share, which means that a certain level of dominance has been achieved over the market. Reaching this stage is rather unlikely given the rapid growth of the industry.
Generic strategy is based on Porter's competitive strategies, where the key strategies are cost leadership, where the most affordable option is offered, cost focus, differentiated cost focus, and in the case of Millennium IT is differentiation, where there is entry into a new market and a new region. Then we look into the direction of the firm's strategy. For that, Ansof's matrix has been utilized. It may either be market penetration, where new strategies are developed for entering a market expansion, which is expanding into new markets with the existing products, product development, which is developing new products for the existing market, and for what Millennium IT has opted for, diversification, where new products have been developed in hardware for the newly entered markets in Mumbai. Now the mentioned implementation methods need to be identified. A firm may choose acquisition, where total control of a firm is bought over. A partnership, where agreements are made with local firms, or internal development. Now Millennium IT will choose to enter the Mumbai banking market through its own efforts in an internally developed method. This may be the most risky of the 3 methods, as information on the market is not as freely available. However, the returns involved with this method are far greater than any of the other methods previously mentioned.
Next, we move on to the marketing strategy. A marketing strategy is a firm's plan of action to entice customers into buying its goods or services. In Millennium IT's case, its target market is the banking industry within the Mumbai geographic. A marketing mix can be developed through the 4 P's. Firstly, product. The hardware products introduced will be highly advanced and not yet available to the local competition. Secondly, the price. The price will be premium as clients are willing to pay a lot more for guaranteed success. Third, place. The location is Mumbai and its level of development in the IT sector will certainly help speed things along. Number 4, position. The primary strategy utilized is direct marketing, where activities such as demonstrations and presentations can be used to convince the clients of its value. Is the value proposition. This topic aims to highlight the value of the endeavor. So starting off with guaranteed quality as is expected of this globally reputed firm. Secondly, part of the reason for this high level of success, especially in a new venture, is the international networks that the company has developed, offering new clients to become part of an extensive network. Third, economic benefits of jobs and higher rates of growth. Due to the scale at which the company operates and the increased levels of competition it brings to the market, this point is justified. Last but not least, the London Stock Exchange brand's credibility. The credibility that the LSEG brand brings to the table is of extremely high value.
For this 5-year period, the firm has estimated an investment of $8 million, with the estimations for each year listed below.
Risk is an ever-present concern for all organizations. The level of risk involved may be the deciding factor for an organization's decision to expand. Now, a risk analysis must take place so that the most influential risks in the local industry are identified. For this, a risk assessment is initially carried out. It has been identified that the greatest risk to the firm is the existing competition, with more than 100 competitors as mentioned before. Millennium IT has identified through the risk assessment that the levels of potential returns far exceeds the impact of the risk, and so have decided to diversify into the Mumbai market regardless of the existing risks. In order to reduce the influence of the risk, effective risk management must take place. An action such as signing long-standing contracts can help create risk-averse periods of time. Now, overcoming unavoidable risk can only be achieved through effective risk communication throughout the industry. Competition has been identified as an industrial risk. This is because it is the nature of the industry. Finally, on a general basis, we look at what the company hopes to achieve within each year of its business plan. At the end of 2018, it hopes to complete the setting up of the business and its operations. In 2019, it will be the introduction into the growth, into the introduction stage, which will in turn progress and networks will be developed within the local market. 2020, there will be movement from the introduction phase and which will progress onto the growth stage. In 2021, the firm will be in the latter part of the growth stage with strong profits being made. And at the end of the 5-year plan in 2022, dominant state will be attained within the Mumbai market, as is the hope of the business currently. And now to conclude, ladies and gentlemen, We thank you for your time and hope this was as educational for you as it was for us.